I want to approach this from two directions. The first will be this question of pressure, and then the next question I have is more about affirmation. But on the pressure side, you make a good point, Senator, which is that oftentimes when, even the degree of pressure that President Obama pursued, which is largely rhetorical, can invite some retrenchment in Israeli politics or resistance to it. At the same time, given the direction of the status quo, the question becomes, what are the levers available? Tommy talked about assistance. Another one that we wrestled with in the Obama administration was the UN process. And at the very end of the administration, we abstained on a resolution essentially critiquing Israeli settlement construction along the same lines as what we would say in our own words. Also condemned incitement on the Palestinian side. I know you were uncomfortable with that.
Right.
But what about the diplomatic international context? Is there any way in which, given that the UN has been one-sided on this issue, would you rule out the UN as a potential use of
I would not rule it out.
Yeah.
I would not rule it out. And I think that, you've got a prime minister who's talking about annexation now. That's obviously a different situation than we were confronted with before. And we need to be paying attention to that now. In other words, we need to be thinking about, of course, we have no idea what the government is that's ultimately going to be formed. But if he had been able to form the government, and he went through on his campaign promises on annexation question, that's a very profound question. It's a seismic question for the United States to answer. And I think we should be very careful about it, extremely deliberate about it. And it is a huge deal if you were to try to do something like that.